farming areas, stuff like this. And also what the Prophet ﷺ said, that he has made a peace with one of the kings. He wrote things in his area, and he named the word, he used the sea. But this dispute is not making a difference. The intention that the corruption is widespread all over the place because of what people has cultivated, of the sins. So Allah will make them feel some of what they did, so they might come back. When we see what is widespread between people nowadays, and all the corruptions and the sins that's widespread, and the things that Allah has forbidden, and on the other side we see a lot of wars and people in uh, taking all types of uh, destruction and the massacres everywhere. That is widespread. That people are doing it all over themselves. So you see a lot of corruptions, a lot of problems. Just like Allah had destroyed the disbelievers because of their wrongdoing and their corruptions, Allah Azza wa Jal is uh, doing the same example that He had given to us before in the Quran. So we remember Allah's punishment, so we'll be back to Allah and stop sinning and against Him. Yes, it is the law that the corruption is widespread because of what people has gained. So Allah will let them taste some of what they did. This is the uh, that is not for certain people over others or time over other time. It is a general law that is widespread on the believers and disbelievers. So the corruption is widespread because of what people has gained, meaning what they have done of the sins. So they will taste some of what they did, so they will go back to Allah. And there's a hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar who says, I used to be the 10th of the people with the Prophet ﷺ. So one of the Ansar stood up and said, O Prophet of Allah, who is the best believer? He said, the best character. He said, who is the smartest? He's the one that. So the man sat down and then and he sat down. Then the Prophet ﷺ came to us. He said, "Oh, people of immigrants, 5 characters if they have, and I seek Allah's favor that you will see them. The fahisha widespread on certain, and they declare it. It will be having the diseases that did not happen before them. And every time they play with the scale, they will be taken with the droughts and the corruption of the leaders. And they do not stop the zakah of their money, they will be stopped the rain from the heavens. And if it was not for the animals, they will not see rain. And every time they avoid Allah's promise, Allah Azza wa Jal will put some corrupted people in charge of them. And every time they go back to somewhere else beside Allah's laws, Allah will make their killing is among themselves. When people when people start justice and they don't do the sins which really bring the blessing from heavens and earth, Allah the Almighty says in His book that if they stayed on the straight path, we will give them water that is so clear, so they will be tested. Those who are that Allah said that they are the uh, fuel of hellfire. If they stayed on the straight path of Islam, Allah would have given them the blessing and their sustenance. Also said, and if they established the Torah or the Bible and what was descended to them from their Lord, they would have eaten from top of them and underneath them. Some of them they are on the straight path, and a lot of them are corrupted. And also said in Surah Al-Araf, if the people of goodness they believed and they feared Allah, then they will have blessing from the heavens and earth. So He will taste them some of what they have got, what they earned. So Allah will give them, He will test them with a lack of uh, souls and money. So they will go back to Allah. They will stop from committing sins. Allah said, we have tested them with the good deeds and the bad deeds, with the bad things, so they could go back. When Isa, peace be upon him, come back at the end of time, he will rule with Allah's rules, and he will break the cross, and he will stop the jizya, and then he will kill the pig that Allah has forbidden on us and all the people of the book. And when Allah destroyed in His time the Antichrist and Ya'juj and Ma'juj and everybody on earth, then it will be said to the earth to bring the uh, and it is enough, the a small piece of the fruit that will be enough for a lot of people. That's the blessing of Allah. Like one pomegranate will be enough for a whole group of people, and they will be blessing on the milk. Even one thing of one cup of the milk will be enough for so many people and people, or a tribe of people. And so and it talked about different types of people. And this to show the blessing that Allah will bring in the fruits of the land, and on the animals, and also on the fruits, because of staying on the path of Allah and establishing the rules of Allah. Then Allah said, stay on earth. Look at how people Allah had destroyed the people before. How Allah Azza wa Jal had made them. And Allah has given so many examples on this. Allah said, and Ad and Thamud, and it was shown to you from their places of place that the shaitan has beautified their actions, and they will stay away from the path. And Qarun Fir'aun and Haman and Musa came to them with the clearances, but they were arrogant on earth, and they were not uh, before us. And Allah will not do them wrong, but they were doing themselves wrong. So have you seen Allah saying, stay on earth, and look at the punishment of those who are before you on earth. And then Allah discussed it with His Prophet and His followers, and straighten your face to the religion, to the straight path. Allah is telling them to stay on the obedience of Allah and to rush to goodness. Before a day will come in, there is no return from it from Allah. When that day comes in, that's it. They cannot go back. And when the day of judgment comes in, nothing's gonna stop it from Allah Azza wa Jal. At that time, they are dispersed, some in heaven and some in the hellfire. May Allah prevent us from being from the people of Sa'ir. As if Allah is telling them, go toward the straight path of Islam, fulfill its obligations, and stay away from what Allah forbids. Stick to it, hold on tight to it before the day of judgment comes, because if that day comes in, there's no one can return it, no one can push it back. People are separated on indifference. so they will see their actions. So those who do an autumn weight of goodness, they will see it, and those who do an autumn weight of corruptions, they will see it. And they are not equal, those who do goodness and those who do worse. Whomever disbelieve, then he have to stay on. And if you disbelieve, then Allah is sufficient from you. I do not accept for his servants that disbelieve. And whoever disbelieved, Allah is sufficient and merciful. If you're first and you're last and you're humans and jinn on the best heart of a person, it will not decrease anything from Allah's ownership. So He will reward those of what they did and those who did good with the husna in paradise. So He will give those who did the good deeds with His bounty. He does not like those who disbelieve. He will give the best of rewards to the believers with the good deed with 10 to 700 and more. Allah does not like those who disbelieve, but He is just, He does not do wrong, whether a disbeliever or not. Allah does not transgress on anyone. And if it is one goodness, He will multiply it, and He will from His own a great reward. And then Allah said from His signs that He will send the winds as given glad tidings, and He will give you from His mercy. He will bring the winds with given the rain after it, and then He will give you the rain from His mercy, that Allah will resurrect the earth with it. And He's the one who brings the rain after the drought, and He will spread His mercy. And He is the sufficient. Allah said that the ships goes in the ship with His permission, and He said they are pillars. If He wants, He will stop the wind, and they will stay still on the water, and they cannot move. There is a signs for those who are patient and grateful, and you will gain from His goodness and go from one area to another area, and you might be grateful to Allah Azza wa Jal from what He has bestowed of bounties on you, from the things that you can see and the things you don't see, that you cannot count. And if you count Allah's bounty, you will not count it. The human being is very transgressors and disbeliever. And then Allah said, we have sent before you messengers to their people, and they gave them the clearance evidence, and we have revenge from those who uh, uh, disbelieved. Allah is giving condolences to His Prophet that if his follower, if his people, they disbelieved in him, it is okay. You're not alone, Muhammad. All the prophets before you, they all were disbelieved, even though they have brought so many miracles to their people and their followers, and all the signs from Allah Azza wa Jal. And Allah has given revenge for those who. And it was a duty on Allah is to give victory to the believers. It is a right that Allah obligated on Himself as a bounty, and as no one can put any right on Allah except what Allah obligated on Himself. Allah has written on Himself mercy, that whoever did good deed. So if you are denied, uh, you are nothing but a part of the prophets and messengers, and you have the same path. And Allah Azza wa Jal has taken care of those who disbelieved. Allah Azza wa Jal revenge from those who disbelieved. Allah has tasted them His torment for disbelieving. And Abu Darda said that I heard the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saying, no person who will protect the honor of his brother It is duty on Allah to prevent the hellfire on him. Then he recited, it was duty on Allah to help the believers. Then Allah said, so when from his sides is the lightning, and when Allah gets anything, Allah is the one who sent the winds, and that will bring like clouds that is full of water. Allah makes it any way He wants in the heavens, and you'll see the rain comes between that clouds. So if Allah take it to His servants, they are happy. They knew Allah Azza wa Jal has taken, He brought that to them. So Allah has shown in these ayah how He created the clouds that the rain comes from. That Allah is the one who sent the wind that brings that accumulate this clouds. Then Allah will expand it in the heavens, and He make from the little is a big. You see it in the high as if it is a big thing where it covers the heavens, and sometimes come from the from the sea. It's very big where when it rains it pours. And He's the one who sent the wind with His mercy. So if it comes full of water, Allah will send it to a dead area, then it will resurrect it again, just like, and that's how Allah brings out the dead, and He make it parts. So if Allah touch with this, whomever He wish for His servants, they are happy, they have glad tidings because of their desperate need of the rain, and it's reaching their area. And they were those that Allah has sent to them the rain before the rain comes down. Allah is stressing on the before, meaning they are having despair from Allah's mercy. They give up on the rain to come down on them. Allah is amazed about how people are feeling despair from Allah and how close His ease is. He saw you humiliated and He keeps laughing. He knows that your ease is very close. Even though before that there's a stress on before, and they're in doubt, meaning they needed it before it came down, and before that they missed it's coming. So they waited and it was delayed. They waited, then it came to them after they give up. So after that, their land became shaking and brought from every a beautiful plantation. So if Allah sends the water, it will shake and then it will flourish. So look at the mercy of your Lord, how Allah resurrects the earth after its death. The bounty of Allah in the rain, how Allah will resurrect the earth after its death. Allah is given a warning after how the body's despair and vanishes, but Allah Azza wa Jal will bring it back after its death. He is the one who is going to resurrect the death, and He is capable of everything. Praises to Allah, and praise that is appropriate for Him. And from His side that you find the earth is observant, so when it is given the water, it will shake and it will have that. He is capable of everything. So if we send us a wind and they saw it very yellow, so if we send a dry one on the thing that Allah says, do you see what you are doing? Are you the one who cultivated or us? If we wish, we will make it destroyed, and then you will still go around it to the end of the ayah. And it was narrated that Abdullah ibn Amr, that he has this, but 8 types of wind. 4 are mercy, and 4 are for punishment. الناشرات المبشرات المرسلات الذاريات, they're all mercy. The Aqim Sarsam, and they are in the Al-Asaf al-Qasif. These are names for uh, the destroyed one. So Allah Azza wa Jal he could send the wind anywhere he wants. And it will use that because it will hold and allow the fruit and all plantation to grow because of that. So Allah Azza wa Jal made life with this water. And also could destroy whatever it passes by. So there's the wind that is going to feed animals and the plants, and the other one that's going to dry it and destroy it and make it useless. Some will weaken it, and Allah has the wisdom in every part of this. Doesn't He know what He has created? Allah knows, and you don't know. But He's Allah, to Allah Azza wa Jal, who has given everything His creation, then He has guided. So you're not going to make and they cannot reach. You cannot make the dead to hear you, and those who do not hear, you cannot guide them. So you cannot stop them from their astray. This is from Allah Azza wa Jal. He's the one who gives the dead the voices of the one who are alive. He is the one who open and resurrect the hearts that are dead and bring the faith into it. So, Muhammad, you're not gonna make the dead hear, nor the one who are dumb. You cannot make them hear your dua. Allah said, are you going to make the deaf, or are you going to guide those who are blind, or those who are great astray, or to make people hear to you and they don't understand, and those who are looking at you, are you going to guide the and they're not looking? If you only make those who believe in our size, they are Muslims. The guidance of clearance, Allah and put it in the hands of the believers and those who follow them. But the success, no one has it except Allah the Almighty. He's the one who made the heart is between 2 of His fingers. If He wants to straighten it, and He wants, He will make it straight. And that's why Allah said to His Prophet in Surah Shura, and you go to guide to the straight path. Allah has proven to him the guidance. In another ayah, He says, you're not going to make guidance to those that you like. So Allah has thrown the guidance in one and denies in one. There's no conflict in there. What is taken out is not like the one that is proven. The clearest it is proven, Allah said, you have guided them the road. Either she is grateful or the Thamud, we have guided them, but they like disbelief over guidance. But the success to benefit from that, only Allah has that. The Prophet ﷺ tried it with his uncle, but it was not proceed for him the goodness. Ibrahim tried with his father Azar, but it was not allowed to him. Nor he tried with his son, but it did not do good. You're not gonna go and guide whomever you like, but Allah guides whomever He wish. You only make those who believe in our signs and they are submitted to us and the obedient. Those who listen to the truth and they follow it. Those who listen are the one who obey, and the dead, Allah will resurrect them and they will come back to Him. And it was narrated that our mother Aisha, she used that on Abdullah ibn Umar when the Prophet ﷺ was talking to the dead who were thrown in the wells of Badr, and he's blaming to them and making fun of them until Umar said to the Prophet ﷺ, who you are talking to people who are became dead. He said, by Allah who has my hold, you don't hear them more than they do, but they cannot answer. And Aisha said, now they knew that what I should say is the truth. The narration of Abdullah ibn Umar, Wallahu A'lam, is the most narrated one. We're talking about the miraculous way if the Prophet does not make the dead except if Allah Azza wa Jal allowed him. Dear brothers and sisters, we'll stop here today. Inshallah, we'll continue next time. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.